Welcome to Alimentary, the podcast series where you will learn about your amazing body, how it works, and of course why food is so important, and also pick up some simple recipe and lifestyle tips and tweaks to help you to influence your health in a positive way. Welcome to this short episode of Alimentary, and I'm your host, Lynn. In the last episode, I chatted to Kasia O'Reilly about our skincare routines and how the less is more, or as Kasia calls it, her skinimalist approach, can work with our skin to nourish it using natural products. So, to complement that, in this episode, I'm going to dive deeper into the foods which nourish our skin from the inside out. And of course, talk about what an amazing organ it is. Now, our skin is actually our largest organ. And so like all of our other organs, it's made up of different types of cells. It also has functions, so it has jobs to carry out for us. And so it's not just about how it looks, but actually the health of our skin can reveal a lot about our inner health too. In cases of skin conditions such as acne, psoriasis, eczema, and even rosacea, we should check out what's going on inside our body, paying maybe special attention to our digestive system, our detoxification systems like our liver and our lymphatic system, and of course our stress levels. Now, obviously, other outside factors can impact our skin too. So, for example, if we have an injury or overexposure to sunlight, smoking, poor diet, environmental pollutions, and they can be anything from the cosmetics that we apply to our skin, household cleaning products, damp, mold, traffic emissions, other environmental pollutions as well. Now, just going back to the cleaning products, there's a lady called Nancy Birchwhistle, and she has some great books which have recipes for making your own environmentally friendly cleaning products. So I'm going to put a link to those in the show notes. I am making a few of them at the moment, and they actually really work. They work actually better than some of the products that you would buy in the supermarket, and you're not concerned about what you're flushing down your pipes as well. It's much kinder to the environment, and then so obviously much kinder to our own health as well. Now, if we go back to some of the issues that people might have, so acne, for example, that can happen at any age. It's often caused by clogged pores or hormonal changes or even stress. And just speaking of stress, that can also lead to flare-ups of conditions like eczema and psoriasis. Now, dryness, on the other hand, is often linked to the environmental factors like cold weather or too much sun exposure. Sensitivity might be due to overuse of harsh skincare products, and Kasia mentioned that in the last episode, where particularly in relation to toners, which might have alcohol in them, or other highly astringent ingredients. So do, check your labels and try and get products that are as natural as possible and as gentle as possible on your skin. Sensitivity might also, be present when there's an underlying condition like rosacea. And understanding the root cause of skin issues is the first step towards solving them. Now, obviously, if you're struggling with persistent skin problems, consult a skin expert, maybe a referral to a dermatologist from your GP or a specialist beauty therapist. Now, they can offer personalized protocols, but the tips that I'm talking about today and the nutrition are foundational and so essential to take on board to build on, whatever protocol is appropriate. So our skin is our first line of defense against the outside world. It protects us from harmful bacteria. It regulates our body temperature. When we're out in the sun, it plays its part in synthesizing vitamin D. Our skin contains hair follicles, and it even lets us feel the world around us through touch. So it's pretty amazing. Now, when our skin is healthy, we feel better about ourselves and so more confident. So nourishing our skin is taking care of both our health and our well-being. Now, before I talk about the foods which help to nourish your skin, I'm just going to mention some other daily tips to keep your skin looking and feeling its best every day. So these tips, of course, if we're nourishing one organ, chances are we're benefiting other organs as well. So these tips are going to be familiar to you. The first, of course, is hydration. So our skin loves water. Now, hydrating regularly throughout the day will help to keep our skin looking plump and healthy. So remember, the first drink that we should have in the morning should be warm water, because we have dehydrated during the night. Obviously, drinking coffee will only dehydrate you further if you drink it first thing. So start the day off with some water and drink it regularly throughout the day so that your skin is constantly hydrated. Don't leave it till 5 o'clock in the evening like we've all done, where you try and, swallow down a whole pint in one go. You can't absorb that much in one go. So regularly hydrate throughout the day. Herbal teas can contribute to your hydration as well. We can moisturize our skin, and of course I'm going to recommend using a moisturizer with natural ingredients. Now, there are fantastic local Cavan companies, but also Irish companies who are making brilliant products with natural ingredients, and I'll put some links to those in the show notes. And just remember that Kasia mentioned greenwashing the last time. So just because you see organic or natural on a label doesn't mean that it's completely natural. So check the ingredients and make sure that you can understand them. Now, sun protection is obviously non-negotiable. The sun is a major contributor to premature aging and skin damage. And obviously we want to reduce our risk of skin cancer. So wearing sunscreen, even if it's cloudy, is really important. And we want to aim for an SPF of 30 or higher. I have a blog about sunscreen on my website, so I'll put a link to that in the show notes. Now, I say that, but also it can be useful to give ourselves about 15 minutes out and about in the sun before we apply the sunscreen. And the reason for that is because it helps us with our vitamin D levels. And also some skin conditions can improve when exposed to sunlight. So this is partly because the sun promotes the growth of skin cells, the way it promotes the growth of all living organisms. And getting out in the sunshine is known to help conditions like eczema and psoriasis. And modern allopathic treatments use UV light along with chemicals called psoralens. This is a PUVA treatment to treat psoriasis. So we need to just be sensible in the sun. And once you don't have really sensitive skin, which sort of burns immediately, see if you can give yourself about 15 minutes before you apply your sunscreen. Obviously, we want to avoid burning. So, if you need the sunscreen as soon as you go outside, it can depend on the time of day as well. So just be sensible. And if you can, give yourself up to your 15 minutes in the sun before you apply the sunscreen. Beauty sleep, of course, it's not called beauty sleep for no reason. While we're snoozing, our skin is repairing itself. So when we're asleep, we do most of our maintenance and repair. So we want to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. So now we're going to move on to the food, and our diet plays a huge role in our skin health. Sometimes I think of the term garbage in, garbage out, which is often used for computers, but literally, we'll be able to see in our skin what food we've been putting in. If we're eating great antioxidants and lots of vitamins and minerals, our skin will be glowing. But if we're eating just lots of sugar and processed foods, our skin will be duller. So anti-inflammatory foods rich in antioxidants like berries, leafy greens, healthy fats, like avocados and nuts, they all nourish the cells in our skin and help it to glow with health and rejuvenate. So some of those vitamins include, say, vitamin A, and that supports healing and construction of new skin tissue. So foods which have vitamin A include green leafy vegetables, other greens, orange and yellow vegetables, so sweet potatoes, carrots. The other greens include spinach, broccoli. You could include butternut squash in the orange vegetables as well. And fruits like cantaloupe, mangoes, apricots. And dairy products such as milk and cheese also contain vitamin A if you can have dairy. Now, other vitamins are vitamin C and E. They're also, antioxidants. And minerals, zinc and selenium, and also B vitamins, they all help to protect against free radical damage and stress-related skin conditions. Now, if we look at vitamin C, we've got our citrus fruit like oranges, lemons, limes. We've got peppers, strawberries, blackcurrants, broccoli again, Brussels sprouts, potatoes, mangoes again, and kiwi. They're all good sources of vitamin C. Vitamin E sources include almonds, pine nuts, sunflower seeds, avocados, peanut butter, red bell peppers. Then zinc, which is for healing. Actually, levels of zinc are often found to be lower in people who suffer from acne. So making sure that you're getting zinc in your diet is really important. And zinc supports our immune system and also helps to control inflammation and the regeneration, the healing of the tissue. So sources of zinc include oysters, red meat and poultry, and also pumpkin seeds. So selenium was another mineral that I mentioned, and sources include lean meat, poultry, eggs, seafood, beans, peas, lentils, nuts, seeds, and soy products. And actually, Brazil nuts are a particularly good source of selenium, but you don't want to have any more than 2, max 3 a day. Sources of B vitamins include meat, especially liver, seafood, poultry, eggs, dairy products, legumes, leafy greens, seeds, and fortified foods such as nutritional yeast. Just bear in mind that with vitamin B12, which is hugely important, we can really only absorb that from animal products. So even if you come across a plant product like spirulina, which says it contains vitamin B12, it's not a form that we can really use as well as we can from animal products. So, just I suppose a side note, zinc, vitamin B6 and magnesium also support normal hormone production, and balanced hormones can also support healthy skin. So all of these vitamins and minerals, really, it's all a balancing act. They all support all of the systems in our body. And really, you can break it down and say anything that grows in the ground or on a tree or on a shrub or anything that eats those whole foods. So our, the animal products as well, that's really where we're going to get the vitamins and minerals to make sure that we have glowing skin. Basically, avoid as many processed foods as possible. Really cut back on sugar and processed foods, keep them to a minimum, and really eat mostly whole foods. Skin conditions like eczema and psoriasis, acne and rosacea are inflammatory responses in our bodies. So it's really important to eat anti-inflammatory foods, and we know that omega-3 is particularly powerful as an anti-inflammatory food. And the best sources are oily fish, salmon, sardines and mackerel. Now there are plant sources as well, like flax seeds, chia seeds and walnuts. I will put a link to the episode on omega-3, which just explains how the difference between the sources from fish and the sources from plants. So that just might be worth having a listen as well. Now, if you're having an allergic reaction, you might want to focus on hypoallergenic foods such as pears, apples, rice, most vegetables, most beans and legumes, and the non-gluten grains like millet, quinoa, and buckwheat. The vegetables to cut out initially to see if it helps would be the nightshade family. So they would be potatoes, tomatoes and peppers. Also peanuts would be another food that you would exclude for a few weeks and see your symptoms ease. And finally, I just wanted to mention turmeric and ginger. So turmeric has an anti-inflammatory action, and it helps to deal with free radicals, which can cause damage to our skin. If you add black pepper when you're using turmeric, that can really help to make the curcumin in the turmeric, which is the really powerful compound that helps with inflammation. The black pepper helps to make it more available to us. And ginger can be used to improve our circulation and digestion. And as I say, with a healthy gut, we'll have healthier skin, and circulation brings the blood to our skin as well with all of the nutrients. So it's also used to enhance the effectiveness of other herbs and spices. So again, ginger is also being researched for its role in reducing inflammation too. So again, they're just two things to have in your spice cupboard as well. So I just wanted to mention detoxification. The skin is an organ of detoxification along with our liver and our lymphatic system. It's also a two-way membrane, so it allows toxins both out and in through the layers. So say for example we have a sauna and we can sweat out toxins, but also whatever we put onto our skin, some of it will sit on the skin and some of it will go down, into our blood as well. So really we do want to be careful about the products that we choose to put on our skin. In order to detox, say for example you are going to go for a sauna, it's also important to remove the dead skin cells that might be clogging up our pores and making it difficult for proper elimination, if you like. So this can be done through skin brushing. And again, we spoke about this in an episode previous about the lymphatic system, and there is also on YouTube a short clip which shows the direction that we should brush our skin, particularly for the lymph flow. So that might be worth looking at, but obviously there's loads of things online. You'll see different diagrams which show you how to, the direction in which to brush the skin. We're always brushing in the direction of the heart, So stimulating the lymph flow and getting rid of dead skin cells will help us to detoxify. We could add things like Epsom salts to a bath, even apple cider vinegar, and the right kind of foods can also help us to detox. So, likely steamed vegetables like carrots, beetroots, peppers, pumpkin, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, watercress and cabbage. They're all great for the liver, which helps our detoxification. And onions and garlic are really good as well, and they're eaten for their detoxification and antibacterial actions. But also if we are eating really well and maybe doing a sauna and all of that, we need to drink lots of water, because obviously we need to flush those toxins out. Lemon juice is great as well. And just going back to that first drink in the morning of warm water, you can add some lemon juice to that. Now, what I will say is brush your teeth first thing in the morning before you eat or drink anything. The lemon, it's alkalizing once we ingest it, but obviously on the outside it's a bit acidic. So if you brush your teeth after drinking lemon water, the enamel might just be a little bit soft. So always brush your teeth first thing in the morning before eating or drinking anything to protect them. According to traditional Chinese medicine, skin diseases can be classified as hot conditions. So for example, acne is often caused by heat in the stomach, caused by what we're eating and drinking. Eczema can be caused by heat in the blood, which can be caused by toxins, stress or hormonal disturbances. And rosacea, on the other hand, again according to traditional Chinese medicine, may be caused by a kidney yin deficiency, which can correspond to menopausal or hormonal problems in allopathic medicine. So in addition to maybe trying acupuncture to help the systems in the body, to reduce the inflammation and cool everything down, you could also try aloe vera gel, for example, which is available in health food shops and chemists, and that really can help to soothe and cool inflamed skin. Also maybe cream of calendula or chamomile cream, they're also soothing and healing. And they might help topically while you're changing your or should I say improving your diet as well and your hydration. So really, I suppose just to finish up by saying that everyone's skin is unique, and what works for one person might not work for another, and it is so confusing out there. The messaging is really all about the products that we apply to our skin. But just don't forget that actually it's what we're eating and drinking every day that is either making it worse or making it better. Managing stress, of course, will help too. And if you're doing all of that and you still have some issues, obviously speak to an expert. But really, be patient and kind and gentle with your skin, and, appreciate all of the amazing things that it does for you every single day. So I thought I would do something different for the store cupboard staples section for this episode and give you a recipe for a smoothie which actually incorporates some of the food that we've mentioned earlier, which will make it a really good skin healthy smoothie. It's also immune boosting and anti-inflammatory as well. So I'll put the recipe into the show notes too, so you can copy and paste it out of there if that's handier. So we want to go with a handful of frozen or fresh spinach, a handful of frozen mango chunks, or if you've got a fresh mango, but you can buy mango frozen, so that might be handier. The juice of a half a freshly squeezed lemon, a teaspoon of grated ginger, and you can find ginger in all of the supermarkets. And actually what might be handy for you to do is to actually peel the full ginger root and freeze it. And then when you need to use it, it actually grates really well from frozen too. So you can buy a nice big ginger root and it'll last you several weeks. So you want a half a teaspoon of turmeric and a quarter teaspoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of natural yogurt, and then you top it all off with water and blend. And it's delicious and so super good for you, and brilliant for your skin, for your immune system, anti-inflammatory, all of those things. So hopefully there's enough there to encourage you to put some more whole foods into your shopping trolley this week. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I just wanted to clarify that the podcast is for informational purposes only and does not substitute professional care from a doctor or trained health professional, nor constitute medical advice or services if you're in a position to need either. However, if you found it interesting, you can subscribe to make sure you don't miss future episodes, or sign up for my newsletter on lynsharkeynutrition.ie.